Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the way in, guys. We're going to talk about a DeFi project that could bring massive potential ROI in this cycle. One of my favorites, many of you know it, guys. We're going to listen in to an amazing governance call. This project has been raking in the profits due to all of the trading. What happens is traders, when they get liquidated or whatever, if they want to trade, they go over to these lending protocols. They take out loans against their crypto so that they have capital to trade, essentially, right? And that is where a lot of these DeFi projects and lending protocols excel, right? So yeah, let's listen in, guys, together. Make sure you guys are hitting the like and subscribe, like I said, and we will chat when I get back. Let's listen in. The project is none other than Moonwell. That's right. Let's dive into it, guys. Enjoy. It's only about 20 minutes long, so I'll be back.
Right. Hey, Luke. Say, Chris, you should be able to join here. There we go.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, Chris? All right, just give it a couple more minutes here. So we're waiting for speakers and guests. Here. Let's see. All right, Darren, you're up here as well. Hey, Darren. Cool. Okay, so you can go ahead and get the ball rolling. Hey, Darren. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Instead of doing the usual intro and background that I usually do, I think that Luke needs to give his updates at the top of the call. So I think what we'll do is, instead of saving the Q&A at the end of the call, we'll just go ahead and have each speaker answer the questions as they go and give their updates. Yeah, Luke, if you're ready, I'll just go ahead and pass it straight to you.
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate your flexibility. This morning, I'm actually commuting into the office to work with the team today, so I'm actually in a car right now. So I thought, just to make sure we don't have any connection issues, it's better if I just go first and get my updates out of the way. So if everyone can hear me, just emote or something and let me know and I'll get started. Yeah, I see your emotes. Okay, so first of all, I just want to thank everyone for joining. If you're having a good day. And I wanted to give a few updates. I know the last couple of weeks have been really challenging for the Moonwell community. The CB ETH incident really impacted, about 181 people, and it's there's a lot of lessons to be learned there. Really proud of the way the community has kind of come together, and Fachaki put up a really solid proposal to help with remediation, and I want to see that work its way through governance. Also, we're working on improving our processes for governance proposals in general to make sure that things like this can never happen again. And I don't want to comment too much on it because I want to let the governance proposal work its way through the governance process. But I did want to let people know we're also working with law enforcement, and we were able, there was a Bitcoin VN was able to freeze some of the attackers' funds. So we have a test transaction, and some of those funds will be recovered. But I want to wait until those funds are recovered. We've been working with the Cayman Islands police on that recovery. To some funds will be recovered. It's not the entire amount. It's a small amount, a small percentage, but it helps. Every little bit helps. And so once those funds land in the Moonwell DAO wallet, I will update the community and let them know about that. I want to give some more positive updates as well. So first of all, the team is making really good progress on our ability to expand to Ethereum mainnet, which is hopefully going to be coming in a couple months. And the contract and governance upgrades are done with audit, and we're just continuing to make sure that we have the process all really well defined, and that we go through, multiple audits on this important upgrade. But this will allow us to expand to Ethereum mainnet in the coming weeks, and really proud of the team for working on that. Also wanted to give people an update. 3 of us were at ETH Denver last week. It was a really good conference. It was a lot smaller than previous years, but we met with a lot of really solid teams. Want to give a shout out to the Glider team. Glider is an app on Base that helps people construct portfolios of the top Base tokens. And the Glider team is looking at depositing idle funds in Moonwell core markets to earn yield. So for people that are constructing baskets of tokens like Morpho, Well, Aerodrome, Virtual, other base assets, we're looking at partnering with the Glider team to help them make sure their users are earning yield on their idle assets as they sit in their Glider wallet. So that's an exciting update. And then, we are continuing to make progress. You might have noticed a new feature that landed on Mamo recently, where you can now install Mamo to your home screen and get push notifications on your Android or iOS device. And as a reminder, for those of you that might not understand why Mamo or how Mamo helps Moonwell, Mamo brings about 5,000 users to the Moonwell protocol, to both our vaults and markets, and Mamo is also bringing tens of millions of dollars of TVL to the Moonwell protocol as well. So anyways, those are the updates I have. I want to just let's jump into the questions, and then I'm like I said, I know this has been a challenging couple of weeks, but I'm encouraged by the community coming together to kind of work through things, and we're continuing to build, and while we want to make sure that we improve our processes and make things safer, I think that nothing has changed, and that we're still on a mission to kind of build the best lending and borrowing experience on the Base and soon to be Ethereum networks. So let's jump into questions.
Okay. I have the questions right here for you, Luke. So first question is, I've heard Moonwell is launching on Ethereum mainnet. What's the progress on this, and will there be a Well token on the network?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, the progress is really good. The contracts, the upgrades are code complete and have been through audit already. There were only low and medium findings, and we've remediated all those. We're going to do another audit of the governance proposal, the upgrade proposals itself, just to make double sure that everything is safe. And then, yes, to answer your question, the Well token will be transferable to mainnet as part of that upgrade. And that will give, just like we have transferability between OP mainnet and Base and Moonbeam, that will give our communities on all 4 networks the ability to, do all the things, stake, vote, participate in governance. It's an important part of the Moonwell protocol. We're one of the only, if not the only, lending protocol that has governance rights on all the networks. And I'm pretty proud of that capability that the team has built. And so that is a core part of the expansion to Ethereum mainnet, is bringing the Well token to mainnet.
All right, thank you. Next question is, what is your opinion on onboarding the MFAM Apollo community into the Well ecosystem?
So I saw that proposal, and I'm a big fan of kind of uniting our 2 communities, because we've been kind of separate. And I know that a lot of the people, I'm one of the biggest MFAM holders because I never sold any of my founder tokens, and I actually farmed a lot of MFAM in the Moonwell protocol and on SolarBeam over the years. But I'm a big and giving the MFAM holders a voice and governance of the future of the Moonwell protocol. I know that some people might think that they're not getting enough well for their MFAM based on the proposal, but I think it's pretty generous to give more than the current value of MFAM, or more than the current market cap of MFAM to those holders in Well tokens. it gives them, it brings them into our community. It unites it aligns the sort of incentives across both communities, and then gives that those holders a path forward on a network that is still active, or on a protocol that's still actively in development and not deprecated due to lack of Chainlink price feeds on the Moonriver network. So I'm a big fan of that, but also I'm gonna just abstain from voting on it because I don't want to put my finger on the scale of the governance with my founder tokens. So and also I'm going to just ask if the for whatever airdrop of WHAL tokens is given to the MFAM holder, I'm just going to ask that my wallet personally be excluded. I already have enough WHAL tokens. I haven't sold my founder tokens of WHAL either. So I would just leave my wallet out of that airdrop just because I'd rather that the MFAM holders get more and that my wallet doesn't get any. So I'll ask that, if the governance proposal passes, that we exclude my wallet from the airdrop.
Awesome. And next question, and this is the last before we move on. A question on buybacks. Are they done on a monthly cadence? And when staking rewards exceed the 10% APY cap, what happens to the remaining balance?
This is a great question. So every 4 weeks, these rewards automation proposals go through governance, and they do a couple things. First, they send excess protocol reserves, which is protocol revenue, to the buyback contracts where they are auctioned off over the coming couple weeks. And that allows, protocol revenue to basically buy back WHAL tokens. And then the subsequent 4-week proposal sweeps those rewards back into what's called the ecosystem reserve, the Moonwell ecosystem reserve, where they can be distributed as staking rewards. Now, there is a hard cap of 10% on the staking rewards rate, and any excess tokens that were bought back, for example, there was a lot left over from the December buybacks, remain in the ecosystem reserve for future months. And one thing I would also mention is that currently the protocol reserves, excess protocol reserves, are being redirected to repay bad debt in the protocol versus buying back more WHAL. So it's a good thing that we have the ecosystem reserve because it's allowed us to keep that staking rate set at that high 10% while redirecting the protocol revenue to the more important task of repaying bad debt in the protocol that was incurred in October and November Chainlink incidents. So yeah, that's basically how it works. Hopefully that makes sense. And I hope that in the coming months, as protocol revenue increases, that we'll be able to restart those buybacks and direct some of the reserves. But really, we look to Entheus Labs for guidance on how much protocol reserves to keep in the protocol for risk management purposes, and then how much to actually use for buybacks for repayment of bad debt.
Thank you. That was the last question.
Okay.
Perfect. And from
Go ahead.
Yep. I'll go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Any final notes?
I think there was a question for Entheus Labs, but I'm not sure if you want. We're going to cover that later.
Yep. We're going to go through the usual schedule and have Entheus answer their Q&A during that portion. All right. Thanks for that, Luke. Safe travels. Darren, if you have any updates, you're actually up next on the schedule.
Yeah, so this is going to be a quick governance update for me, just like explaining some of the proposals that went through in February. So one, we had MIP X43, which was activating OEV wrappers for the non-composite markets. This also updated the OEV fee split from 60/40 to 70/30 in favor of the protocol. Then we also, this is also excluding all of the like the more automated liquidity proposals. We also had a risk curatorship transfer for on MIP B56. So the risk curatorship of the Morpho vaults on base were transferred from Block Analytica to Entheus, just like uniting under one single provider instead. We find that more efficient. And then finally, reverting the Coinbase ETH market oracle on base. So this was just reverting it back to the former Chainlink oracle, and that was a targeted fix. And yeah, these are more or less the governance updates for this month. That's all from my end.
Perfect. Thanks, Darren. And Chris, if you're ready for Antheus updates, risk updates, and more.
Yeah, hey everyone, how's it going? Just want to give a quick summary of the governor's proposal that went through this month of the risk parameter updates. So on base, we did 2 reductions, 2 collateral factors. So one for LBTC, one for TBTC, both reducing collateral factor by 1%. We increased borrow cap from 22 mil to 34 mil. And for the interest rate params, we decreased the kink for CBBTC, LBTC, and TBTC, so all the BTC derivatives. We decreased the kink from 70% to 45%. And the rationale for that is these assets, typically, we're seeing low utilization, hovering around 20%. And essentially, the protocol takes on unnecessary liquidity risk when it permits high utilization in underutilized markets. So the update to the IR curve, basically it puts a soft cap on how much of these assets can be lent out before interest rates spike. Moving on to OP mainnet, we had 3 IR parameter updates here. So for the stablecoin markets, USDC, USDT, and USDT0, we decreased the multiplier from 0.067 to 0.0615, and this decreased the borrower interest rate at kink from 6% to 5.5%. We did this because we were noticing that utilization of these assets was hovering around 50 to 70%. So, as we're entering bear market territory, naturally borrower interest rates go down. So to allow for greater capital efficiency at higher utilization, we decreased the interest rate of the kink there. So that's it for this the governance proposal that passed this February. And moving on to some community questions. The first is, can you give an update on the bad debt situation? How much has been paid off and how much remains? So actually, if you want to follow along, I just put up a forum post on the governance forum. It's under the weekly update, but if you want to follow along quickly, if you go to that post, you can see a section where I just I put all the numbers for the markets on base on how much bad debt there is and how much reserves there is. But to give a quick summary, across the protocol on core markets on base, there's 6.4 million in bad debt, and there is 2.1 million, almost 2.2 in reserves, and about a little over 2 million of those reserves are currently being used to cover bad debt, which leaves about a little over 4.3 million in bad debt that remains to be paid. And the second question, have you considered using derivatives market signals like perpetual futures open interest as a factor when evaluating new asset listings or risk parameters? So in short, for Moonwell, this is not something that's currently factored into our risk engine. However, for other protocols, we have gone through the exercise of looking at derivative market signals, particularly for assets like Athena's SUSDE, because their funding rate basically it only works if shorts are being paid by the longs, if there's a positive funding rate for shorts. So looking at signals like that, it's more important for an asset like SUSDE, but for Moonwell, which only mostly has blue chip assets, where there are, there is increasing demand for perp dexes, people trading on perp dexes, these assets. And I do like this question. I do think that looking at these sort of signals can kind of give you a better idea of how much leverage there is for these assets. And this could inform you like the price action if there was a deleveraging event, for example. So I do like this question. Hopefully, I was able to give you a little bit of insight. Yeah, in summary, not something we've done particularly for Moonwell, but something we have done in the past. And yeah, that's it for my update. If anyone else has any other questions, feel free to speak up, or willing to pass it back to our host.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so we're getting pretty close to wrapping here. So speakers, if you have any final points you want to jump in with, feel free to do so now. But if not, it'll be a bit of a shorter call today, short and sweet. So yeah, for everyone else, the next, Luke, looks like you unmuted.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to end on a more positive note. Just something you guys may have seen if you follow the Base leaderboard. So for those of you that aren't familiar, base.dev has a leaderboard of all the top apps on the Base network. And we're climbing the leaderboard. Moonwell is now the 11th most used app in the last week on the Base network. So that's a really exciting thing to see. And I think just in the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of new users, new deposits, and new TVL flow in. So I just wanted to kind of end on that positive note. It's great to see the engagement. I know it's bear market conditions right now, but it's exciting to see like us get acknowledged as a community for being the 11th most used app on Base in the last week. So yeah, congrats everyone.
All right, cool. Yeah, so quick final note for everyone else. Yeah, the next call will be the last Thursday of the month, so it should be March 26th. So as usual, the questions form will go up about a week or so prior to the call. So it'll go both on the forums and here on X. So yeah, feel free to go and submit your questions to have them answered on the next call. And if there are no final points, we'll go ahead and wrap. All right.
All right, guys. So listen, a couple things for me. In bear market conditions, seeing a project like Moonwell continuing to climb up the leaderboard, very, very bullish. The profits are continuing. The numbers are continuing in an upward trajectory. All things sound positive so far. And for me, one of the things that I look for when I'm looking at projects is transparency. Now, those of you who are in the ZBEC community, for example, are very, very familiar and comfortable with the projects you love being very, very transparent, right? Doing AMAs and their governance calls and stuff like that consistently, always being upfront and proving things with the numbers is what I like to see. That gives me personally confidence in a project like Moonwell making a comeback. I personally, not financial advice, but I personally cannot wait to stuff my bags some more once I feel like we've bottomed out in this market. So I'm excited about it, guys. I love the transparency. Hopefully you guys do as well. When there's not a lot of profit to be made in the spot market, guys, in the short term, it's the best time to learn how to trade. We have been absolutely printing over in our trading group. Guys, I'm so proud of our leaders over there and the work they've been putting in. The trading, 473% to the upside, 514, 469, 103, 319. Guys, 207. We don't just talk about it, we show you the proof is in the pudding, right? 101% there, 651%, 295, 346, 952, so on and so forth, guys. So listen, if you want to learn how to trade and print while there's not a lot of money to be made in the spot market, join our trading group today over in our Patreon community. We have great leaders. You can follow our tutorial videos so you can learn how to trade. You can use demo mode if you're new and you want to practice. You can use fake money and follow along with our trades and much, much more. Or if you're looking to find micro cap gems, if you're a gem hunter in crypto, we have been dropping gems over there as well. In fact, we pointed out another one this morning and we dropped another one the other day. We just cleaned up a 450% return on Ghostware. and so much more, guys. So if you're a gem hunter and you want to find more gems like ZBEX, like XCNs, and so much more like Canton Network, get over to the Patreon for that as well. You can book one-on-one coaching calls with me personally. You can join our group coaching calls, our Patreon lives, all of our Patreon exclusive content. You get daily morning market overview videos where we give you all the information you need to be prepared for the day ahead when it comes to crypto, and so much more, guys. So check it all out today. It's less than the price of a cup of coffee. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.